What's going on, y'all? Today, I wanted to start a conversation because I've been getting a little concerned. You know, the more that I've seen and interacted with elections in my life as I've grown, and maybe it's just because I'm more aware of issues and what they are now, but it seems like it's escalated. A divide between the parties. I don't think I'm alone in this observation. I hear a lot of people say that even a civil conflict is possible. Now, I am going to be hopefully not the first to say that that is not what I want for the future. I don't want to make any enemies out of my neighbors for any reason. I want to try to cooperate with them to the most of my ability to get the extra use out of whatever I can. Whether it's just seeing them smile as I pass by their house, or whether it's building a deck with them to improve their home or my home. I want to build bridges between people. The thing about people, is it seems like they're not willing to give up their old culture to move toward a new unity, which I don't get. Why make enemies out of your neighbors for what they think, for how they look, for what they do? If they're there, and they aren't hurting you, why not try to be friends? Why try to find something to dislike about them? I don't know. I'll say this. It's difficult for me to see headlines, especially headlines now, with things like Google in the title. It's a company that has grown as I've aged, and, they got a lot of power nowadays. And if they are going to act like they as a company care about the election and tell that to the world, I feel like that's unsafe, because they are in control of so much power, how we see the information that goes out. And it comes back as this issue of, why do you want someone not to be elected just because they don't believe as you believe? How are they your enemy? How is the world a bad place now because Trump is your president? I don't understand. Maybe you don't like the guy. He's not the greatest man in the world. I'll admit that. Then why not find a great man to run? Where is he? I don't see him. He's your president, So that a majority of the people who did vote for the guy, right? And I don't know, man. I don't know. Both sides are so deluded to me. To me, right? You want to elect the person who is most qualified to do the duties. Maybe Trump wasn't the most qualified person from the last group of candidates. That's on us, right? And the way that we decide. I feel like the way it is now, this us versus them, it's just kind of that one side seems a little less crazy. And that's kind of how the majority of people who are moderates, who don't say anything whatsoever, end up going. That's what I think anyway. I don't know. I'll be honest. The guy deserves to be in the office, in my opinion. Of everybody in the last group, I had the personal opinion he was the most qualified. There are a lot of reasons that each candidate failed, in my opinion, including Trump himself. But at the end of the day, they are who's running, and you have to vote for them. I think there's a lot of people out there who have celebrity power, who they could ride into political office, and even who might have a possible work ethic or set of ideals that might fit better. But the thing about it is just you have to also want to do it. You want to be president? Does it seem easy to you? Doesn't seem stressful? Doesn't seem awful? You know? A lot of people don't like the guy. I think he's doing alright. I think everyone pretty much tries to do the best they can. I hope they do. I do. Today I am. Tomorrow I will. I just think that an election needs to be rethought in the mind of everyone. And the discussion needs to be toned down and brought back. We're so combative and so us versus them. And we are all Americans. Live in the same country. Do the same jobs. Drive the same kinds of cars. Eat the same freaking meals. Dine at the same fast food restaurants. We can relate to each other. We share experiences. There's an abundance of wonderful things to spend our time doing. Why yell at each other? Because we see different perspectives. You know, a lot of people that you might disagree with might have a reason to believe what it is that they believe. And honestly, I just think that a lot of where we're getting to is becoming unreasonable, and we're starting to accept standards of other people and never question anything. I don't know, man. I just feel like we need to find people who are qualified and searching for the best for the country. I don't feel like that's what politics talks about. It's just not what I get as the message. There's so many issues that get out of hand. And it's crazy the amount of things that we don't, talk about. I don't know. Maybe I'm unreasonable. Maybe it's always been like this. It's always been so combative. Hopefully, there's just a shift in the party soon. I know it has happened in our nation's past, It's not like we always had just the Republicans and the Democrats as the political parties. And there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of new stuff. And honestly, it's deluded for any of us to think that any of us are fully ex-culture from the old world. We're this new culture. We're a new Western civilization. We use video cameras and cell phones and computers daily. We go to the grocery store to buy our ingredients. It's a culture. It's a culture. Alright? In the same way that islanders might, roast a pig over a fire for 2 days and feed the whole village, or I'm sorry, I hope I don't offend anyone. I have no idea actually what islander culture is like, and I don't know. If you're in pig roasting culture, there's cultures that roast pigs, alright? That's what you do. That's how you feed everybody. You, have a big thing over a fire. You dole up the animal, chop it into a bunch of parts. So-and-so gets the leg, so-and-so gets the freaking head, and so-and-so gets the liver, and y'all gotta work on it together. That was the culture, right? But now the culture is we have jobs, we work for money, we have computers, we make phone calls. I don't care what God you're praying to. You're a part of Western civilization, and that makes a whole new set of cultural, similarities between you and your neighbor. So why antagonize them? What comes of it? I know you don't want war elsewhere in the world, so why want a war in your own neighborhood? Make peace, improve yourself, and just do what you do. And don't judge other people for what they do. It's not your freaking job. You know? I mean, obviously, there are certain things which we've agreed on to fight against. You know? When people get murdered, we want to investigate that. Let's say, years from now, that all the auto manufacturing jobs are gone. Okay? Let's just try to funnel more people into medicine. More people into finding who was murdered, you know? If it's just everybody's working on that, shoot, how are they going to get away with it? I don't know, man. There is work to be done. There is work to be done, always. It's just what we choose to do. We have the access now to the food. We have the neighbors. We have the ability to communicate and cooperate. And we're not doing it. And I just feel like we could be so much further ahead have we not wasted all our time on these conversations of us versus them, and then, oh, we cry because so-and-so got elected. Look, if something upsets you, just look back to the other things you have going on. I know you've got more things going on in your life than just the Trump administration. And if you don't, then you better be involved in it. And I hope you're taking your life seriously, brother. Because, shoot, I'll trade you. I ain't got nothing. Anyway, I just hope people can not care about who voted for who or who is whose party or whatever. Because I feel left out, honestly, man. I don't have a party that I rep. This is not some gang shit. You know, no, keep me out of it. I feel exactly the same. Like, I'm me, human, born in America. I have individual opinions that I've come to from my personal observation from these here eyeballs, right? Because I don't take other people's word for whatever. I think about it. You think about it too. And get back to me about whether or not you think this culture's escalating. Anyway, quick like for no civil war. Have a good day.